Thank you, folks. Thanks for coming out. I want to thank the folks who have put this on, from Madeline Martinez and Ralph Martinez, to Michael Bacara, Paul Loney, Stony Girls, the folks who sponsor this. And thank you all for coming out here to represent cannabis. You know, this is happening in 300 different cities around the world. So it's a global movement. And in Santiago, Chile, they actually have 450,000 people marching through the street, and about 150,000 in Buenos Aires. And once in Berlin, they had over 1 million people. But it all started about 45 years ago in New York City. And so we're carrying on a tradition, and I always like to say, you know, we're all motivated by cannabis. Cannabis is something that adds to the quality of our life and that we enjoy, and it shouldn't be illegal. Even the current regulations are over-regulation, and so we have farther to go. It's good that some people are not going to jail for cannabis today, and some businesses are making money, but everyone should benefit from this plant. We should be able to grow fields of it for its seed without over-regulation, and that's the whole reason marijuana is illegal. Drugs have always just been a smokescreen. It's always been about fuel and fiber and money and power and the continued centralization of economic and political control. So, you know, cannabis is the oldest crop. People began cultivating it at least 15,000 years ago, and maybe more than twice that long. Agriculture itself started because of cannabis. It's no other crop that we know of today was being cultivated earlier than that. And by 12,000 years ago, its cultivation spread from its indigenous area up in the high Himalayas around Afghanistan and Tibet and Kashmir. It had already spread to the Mediterranean basin, and they were cultivating it in modern-day Italy way before the Romans or even the Etruscans had a civilization. Cannabis was being cultivated there in present-day Italy and all around the Mediterranean. So our culture and civilization were based on a cannabis culture. And in fact, we have co-evolved with cannabis over the past 35,000 years that we've made cannabis evolve for us, and we have evolved for cannabis, where today the protein profile of hemp seed perfectly matches humans' nutritional needs for protein in exactly the right balance of amino acids, the 8 essential amino acids. So the oil creates essential fatty acids. It mimics the endocannabinoid system that was just discovered here in the past 25 years. So this is the oldest crop, and it's the most productive, you know, and the main reason it's illegal is because the petrochemical, pharmaceutical, military, industrial, transnational, corporate, elite, fascist sons of a bitches in the ruling class gave us the lies, the racist lies about cannabis, using a word from Mexican slang, marijuana, that was used during the Mexican Revolutionary War over 100 years ago. They made it illegal. If they had called it hemp, they never would have made it illegal because everybody knew what hemp was. It's only because they used this new term and they claimed it was a deadly new drug. It's something that caused people to go crazy and kill their family and friends. Well, we see that in that movie Reefer Madness and Marijuana Assassin of Youth from back at those times. But we know that was just malarkey. And so this is the safest therapeutically active substance known to man, according to Francis Young, an administrative law judge for the United States federal government back 30 years ago. He's dead now, but he said marijuana is the safest therapeutically active substance known to man. No one has ever died from marijuana. So I'm glad you're out here to march for cannabis. Thank you for turning out. I'll be marching out there with you. Remember, help us restore hemp.